First up this morning on KWOS Open Air, a gentleman who wants to be your next First Ward City Councilman here in Jefferson City. Tyler Woods is on ballot, and Tyler, good morning. Welcome in.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Warren.
I believe you were the first one on the ballot, right?
I was. I was there bright. Well, it wasn't even bright. It was 4:30 in the morning, the opening day of filing. I went down to City Hall and sat outside and until 8 o'clock, expecting a couple others to show up, but I was there alone. So. Well,
you are obviously motivated for the job. Why do you want to be a city council person, other than that great big salary that they're all paid, right?
My main drive to doing this is to help the people. I grew up in Jefferson City. I have a wife, Ashley. We've been married for a little over 4 years. 2 sons, Morgan, who's 4, and Miles, who will be a year old in a couple weeks. We bought our first home on Riverside Drive just a little over 3 years ago. And it was quickly after doing that I decided I wanted to become very involved in the community. I wanted to make a difference in that neighborhood specifically. It's a fragile neighborhood, and one's first opinion is that it needs some help. That was kind of my driving factor. And as I got deeper into campaigning last year, I developed a good relationship with so many of the people of the First Ward. I mean, for being a newcomer, a young newcomer at that, I developed a great relationship with several thousand people, the First Ward, going door to door and making personal phone calls. And it was just nice to get a response back that people wanted to see a change. They wanted to see a young face. They wanted to see new blood in the city council.
Would this be your first sojourn into politics?
So to say, yeah. Last year I campaigned. I was unsuccessful.
But you've never held a...
No, I've never held a...
before. Tell us a little bit about your business background.
I own a monument company, Colonial Monument Company. I also manage Dennis Oil Company here in Jefferson City, who is a oil and lubricant distributor.
Okay, you're a busy guy.
Yes, I am.
Big issue it's going to bring out the voters, a half-cent sales tax referencing transformation here in Jefferson City. Where do you stand on that? And if you get elected, will you be one of those folks who supports that whole idea?
This is kind of a special deal. I've been campaigning for a couple months, but I've never came out and said I'm going to vote yes or no yet, but I'm going to do that now. I am actually going to vote no on the transformation. And my reasoning is the people who have worked on the transformation campaign, they've done a great job. They have a lot of good ideas. These are all good projects. Where I'm coming from is visiting with my constituents in my ward, and who I've talked to, the majority say it's not the right time, and I agree with that. We're kind of in a tough economy. One of the businesses I'm in, I see it firsthand every day. I work with excavators, contractors, truckers. I see the tough economy almost every day in that aspect. And me going to possibly be a representative for the people of the First Ward, I need to listen to what they say. I can't go off of a personal agenda. I can't go off of necessarily what I think they should feel. Again, the people who have worked on the transformation campaign, they have really good ideas. They've done a lot of hard work. They've worked very hard for this. It's just from where I'm coming from, it's not the right time. There's going to be 3 taxes we talk about here in the near future: the sales tax, the downtown tax, and property tax. Our fire stations need, let's say, updating. Our fire department needs equipment, air tanks, updated equipment so they can better perform their duties. We have other areas that we can spend money in that won't necessarily be included in this tax.
And as you said, you're basing your stand here based on the people that you have talked to, and you've knocked on a lot of doors, I assume, there in the First Ward.
Yes. And that's the thing. Whenever you represent roughly several thousand people, if you've only got maybe 500 in favor, it's really hard to look the rest of them in the face and say, this is how I feel. And I'm not saying that if elected and the sales tax does get pushed through, I'm not going to fight it. If it is voted through, and we do have a half-cent sales tax, I think then we need to get the project started. We need to keep promises that were made. We need to get the projects just up, going, done, and try to get this tax alleviated as quick as possible, just for the basic sense of no one likes taxes. So.
With all the focus with the council here lately talking about Old Town, that takes in the first ward. Plenty of that is literally right about the first ward, isn't it?
It is. There would be a lot of money in this sales tax spent in the first ward, and that is something, like I said, I like. There's a lot of the transformation parts that I do like. I'm not against the whole idea, so to say. It's kind of tough taking the whole package as one. It's kind of like an all or nothing deal. You get everything or you don't get anything. And that's where a lot of people have their drawback that talk to me. They would rather see sections of it being done at a time. A big complaint is the 25% being used, or the amount being used toward the conference center. People feel that they were lied to. People, last year at the lodging tax, a big thing was it would be paid, the conference center would be paid for with no local funding. It would all come from tourists. Now we're coming back to the drawing board saying, wait. We weren't so accurate last year. We need more money. Will this happen again? Will this happen next year? Will we get into the project and have shortfalls? It happens, and it's no one's fault. No one can predict these things, and it can't be perfect. It's just going to take a lot of work, but...
Yeah. Tyler Woods is one of 3 candidates in the first ward. And, Tyler, at the end of these get-to-know-you type interviews, I just kind of open up the mic to you and let you make your pitch here for a minute or two.
Thank you. I have a strong desire to serve on the city council for the reasons that I've listed already. My commitment runs deep. I was there first in line, first day of filing, and I think that makes a point in my mind, and I believe several other constituents' minds. It shows that I'm ready to do the work. I'm there on time. Let's get started. I don't believe in forcing projects on the backs of taxpayers to fund things that we're really kind of unclear about. No one knows for sure what projects can be self-sustaining in 10 years. No one knows for sure exactly how many jobs this could create, or if we're just going to shift some properties around and possibly have some vacant property. As far as transformation goes, it's going to take someone that's willing to spend the time. The city council position requires a lot of time. It's going to take someone who has the time, who has the ability, who has the longevity to see projects through, and really a strong commitment to the citizens and the constituents that I would serve. And exactly where I'm coming from on the transformation issue, that's where I'm at. I'm listening to the people. I'm representing them the best I can.
All right, Tyler Woods. Nice talking to you, Tyler. And
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in this morning.